context of our conversation, climate change is obviously an issue that is very, very relevant. Poverty is a challenge for small-scale fisheries in general, and in Belize, the entire fishery is built on small-scale fisheries, actually characterized as a highly commercial or artisanal fishery. Relative to our brothers in the Caribbean and Central America, the Belize fisheries have remained relatively robust. We do have challenges, but as a general rule, we do have a competitive and largely effective management systems in place. We obviously have the standard responses such as closed season, size limits. We do have gear restrictions, but obviously there has been a paradigm shift in terms of natural resource management in general, and so the whole issue of parasitical management and co-management really has taken root in Belize in a big way. A large part of what we do in terms of our fisheries management is to set aside representative components of the seafloor for what we would characterize as porpoise river management, i.e. marine reserves. And marine reserves for us, for example, they're a tool that conceptually bridges the divide between conservation and extractive use. The issue of increased hurricanes and tropical storms, and in general some of the shifts in seasonality. Obviously in Belize, the relationship between the damages caused to, for example, mangrove systems are one of the more productive atolls in Belize versus production is definitely, in terms of just looking at it, established what we see as a negative correlation between storm events and fishery production. Obviously, we would want to follow our observation by some robust science. Corals, as we know, are really ecologically fragile, and so our management response, certainly in terms of the climate change issue, has to bear in mind that resilient reef systems or potentially resilient reef systems need to be discovered and they need to be managed appropriately. But I don't think that the conversation in terms of climate change has actually reached stakeholders, and it has not been popularized in terms of their experiences. But really, I actually anticipate that there would be buy-in. I believe that if we were to rely on the experiences that we have had in terms of treating with other challenges that we have had in the past, for example, the whole issue of invasive species, which can be related to climate change. For example, we have an invasion of the lionfish, and in response to that, we have a lionfish working group that also has a participation of the fishing community. So I think fishermen, by their very nature, are sort of an independent bunch of people.